Good afternoon. It's August 17th, 2005. I'm Mayor Livingston, and this afternoon, Tom Bush and I, on behalf of the Southwest Georgia Regional Library, will be interviewing Byron Hicky on his experiences in World War II. Byron, tell us how old you are and when did you join? I believe you joined the Navy.
I joined the Navy December of 1942.
And how old were you? 18, I think.
18.
After and you went from, where did you join? In Bainbridge?
No, I joined in Mariana and they sent me to Birmingham and I got my physical and everything there.
Where'd you take your basic training boot camp?
San Diego Naval Training Station, San Diego, California.
Oh, you went all the way out there?
Yeah.
Well, now, you were trained as a seaman?
As a what?
As a Navy man. You were trained, you took your boot training?
Yes.
In the Navy?
Yes.
And you were assigned to the Corona Naval Hospital?
Well, I was first assigned to San Diego for just about 20 days. They were trying to get them together, I guess, and then I went up to Corona, California, Naval Hospital, which is about 50 miles or so.
Well, is that when did you volunteer? Did you volunteer to be a corpsman? And tell them what a corpsman is, not a corpsman. Did you?
No, I went in and they asked me what I was doing, and I told them I was working in Florida State Mental Hospital in Chattahoochee. And they said right away, "You're a good man for back then
They thought you worked in a hospital, you'd be a good corpsman."
That's right. That was a different kind of patient.
Well, where were you trained as a corpsman? Back Corona?
No, at San Diego. I was trained as a hospital corpsman at Balboa Park. It was actually a zoo. We were part of the zoo there. And there's lack of facilities, I guess, and they had a building there, and we were going to school there.
But you knew what you were getting in for. You knew what you were going to be doing. You were going to be assigned to the Marines.
No, not at that time, but I was up at Corona, and they had a request for people to volunteer. I was foolish or something enough to go to volunteer, so I volunteered. At Corona, we were just not doing very much. There's more people there than knew what to do. One day we'd move lumber pile one place, and the next day we'd move it someplace else, and back to the same place.
You had been trained, though. You were a corpsman at that time.
At that time, yes.
And when they asked for volunteers?
I went to Camp Elliott, California.
Yeah.
I think
that was in January of 43, about that?
yes, about that, yes.
And then where'd you go from there? Were you assigned to the Marines at that time?
I take my FMF training, medical training at Camp Elliott, and from there I went to New Caledonia with the Marines.
FMF stands for what?
Fleet Marine Force.
Right, a lot of people won't know that.
Yeah, Fleet Marine Force.
And then you went to Noumea, California.
New Caledonia. That way down in the South Pacific, almost to Australia.
There you go. Well, were you assigned to were you on Guadalcanal at that time? Did you go into?
No, from Noumea, I went to Guadalcanal and joined it was the Raider Battalion when I first got there, but sometime later they changed it to 6th Marine Division.
But but you were not there when they invaded Guadalcanal?
No.
The first time?
No.
There you go.
No, it was still dusty and rainy and everything like that.
Well, now what did you do when you got there? You didn't, I mean,
We went out in the jungles training with the Marines.
you were training, and they were too.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, now at that time, did you have a weapon? Did you carry a weapon?
We did not carry a weapon at first, but I believe they learned on Guadalcanal that the Japanese was shooting at the doctors, the corpsmen, and the officers. They were picking them out from the coconut trees.
Well, you didn't have a Red Cross armband?
No, we didn't. I never wore a Red Cross armband other than my uniform back then. But we didn't, my Marine uniform did not have no identification as such.
In other words, there was no identification on you to indicate that you were a medical person?
No, the only way they could tell, I guess, was I'm a first aid kit.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, did you ever carry a weapon?
Yes. On Guam, I carried it all the time.
Now, you went from Guadalcanal, you were assigned to what division were you assigned?
I hesitate to say just when they made the 6th Marine Division. And it might have been before we left Guadalcanal. It probably was, because when we landed on Guam, it was 6th Marine Division.
You went from there to Guam? Oh.
It taken us 56 days on the LST, and we were in reserve for Saipan, and we stopped along the way, many islands, and kind of waiting for Saipan. And at Saipan, we were constantly harassed by the Japanese out on the LST. Planes, everything else.
Did you ever, in other words, well, you mentioned fraudulent.
Yes.
And you went swimming there?
Yeah, we went swimming. The captain of the ship sent out some people and didn't see no shark or anything. They just let down the front of the ship and we went swimming.
But you were on an LST for 56 days?
56 days, and the chow was lousy.
Well, by the time did you know where you were going? Let me ask you that.
We didn't have a side sighting where we were going. We didn't know till we landed. And then, I'm sorry, maybe the day before we landed on Guam, they told us. I don't remember, but I think that was correct.
And you had the PX was on the battleship, I think you did.
Yeah, at Quadrilline, I believe it was the California, tied up off a distance, and they'd taken us by boat over there and let us visit the BX.
Where'd you go to that? And the Japanese were always coming in raiding, on airplanes.
Yeah. You couldn't get no sleep. rained constantly.
And these were not kamikazes.
They were not,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. Sometimes they seem to be coming straight for the ship. When we had the destroyer escort surrounded us, and they were taken care of, and the LST, they knocked down one plane that landed right in front of us. So he was headed for the ship, so I guess they hadn't kind of started.
Now were you on the first wave of the beach?
Yes, I was on the first wave on Guam.
Guam.
Yes, after 56 days.
You were ready, it didn't matter to you.
And on the beach, many casualties. And I didn't know what I volunteered for.
You found out in a hurry.
Yeah.
Well, tell me this, when you came into the beach, there were a lot of guys laying around, and you had a lot of them, you did the best you could.
Yeah, we had to get up and go to them when they yelled corn. They discontinued that well, they stopped calling corn. They had a code name. And I don't remember what mine was, but we had one.
Why did they stop calling corn? I've never heard that before.
Well, they certainly did, because
Oh, I know that.
they called the corpsman, and that tells the Japanese right away.
And you'd have to get up out of your
Yeah,
foxhole.
you had to get out of your foxhole, and they'd shoot you on the spot. So
Did you have a guy that you really felt like you really saved his life? He was shot up, but you got him together. And
those people on the beach, we had many casualties, and I don't really know about them because we left fairly soon, but I would say certainly we were given morphine and everything, bandaging them and taking care of their wounds. So
as far as you know, then they got them off the beach.
yes, I think they taken them back to the ship. I don't know whether they taken them to LST or there's other ships there, of course.
When I was in Vietnam and I was given morphine, they wrote an M on my
Yeah,
forehead.
we
Y'all did that
had
too?
to do that, yeah.
That's so they wouldn't give them another dose of morphine.
Oh.
Yeah, wouldn't get more than one dose.
Well, which way did you go? Did the Marines move inland?
The Marines moved inland and crossed, and I can't remember the river, but there's a river fairly close to the beach, and they set up a first aid station there. Of course, I was with a company of Marines at that time, and I went out with the company, but later I came back, first aid station for a rest.
You went in with the Marines on Amtrak, I think you said.
Yes.
That was the first time.
I think you'd call it Amtrak.
It was sort of like it had the tracks on the side.
Yes,
It
yes,
had a propeller.
yeah,
And you dropped it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Did they also call those ducks?
No, the duck was different. They had no opening in front at all, as far as I know. I don't even remember seeing a duck on Guam. Now, they may have been there, but we went ashore and we didn't know what was going on out in the harbor there. I didn't much care.
How long were you on Guam?
I'll estimate about a month. And the Army came in, and relieved us, and we left.
Well, now, that was the biggest show you never got to Saipan, did you?
Oh, I didn't go ashore there, but out in the harbor there, we were bombed and,
Well, where were you? Were you on Guam when you were telling me about the time that, the colonel called you all up to a ridge?
yes,
Tell us about that.
At that time, I was back at the first aid station, and I remember very well, 5 o'clock in the morning, our foxhole was half full of water, and I heard the colonel tell the doctor, Doc, we need some help. Can you spare a couple of 3 men? And I can hear the doctor now saying, Bailey and Hicky. And that was my foxhole buddy. And said, go with the colonel. And the colonel showed us where we went, where to go. Went to the hill where you could see down in there, they were shooting flares. The Japanese had infiltrated around the Marines' front line and come up. They were trying to take the regimental aid station and also the regimental station. And he said that they needed to help protect that. So we got up and went out there, and my buddy and myself was laying on our stomach. And we were there 5 or 10 minutes, I guess, when my buddy kind of raised his head, and he got it right through the head, and he dropped just like that. Well, that ended up staying there, and I jumped over there right away, crazy like they could have shot me too, but he's a good friend, so.
By the time you got there, you knew.
Yeah, I felt his pulse, no sign of life in him. He was dead right away. And then I notified the aid station, they come and got him, and that's the last I saw him.
Which way, did you stay on that down? I guess you did. I mean, you were by yourself then, but you helped them.
No, it was about daylight, close, best I remember it was about daylight, and of course they quit shooting flares and everything, and I guess that alarmed them too that they need to kill someone, so that's what they were after, I guess.
Where did you go then? What happened? Did you stay on Guam for a while after that?
Yes, I stayed in the first aid station for a week or two. And then I went back to the line with the Marines. And I think I told you about the guy that was, we were passing by, and some Marine in another company yelled to me, and they said, Fairchild, their corpsman had been killed. So I fell out of the line and went over there and fell of his pulse. And the corpsman there had already said he's dead. And I could feel no pulse whatsoever. And I did not see Fairchild until the day our ship was pulling out of there. And here he come running out to the ship. Now that sounds like a fairy tale or something, but that's the truth. That's what happened.
How did it happen? You got any idea?
I don't know, and he doesn't know. And he says, I've never been dead. So he was, but he came back to the United States, and I haven't seen him since or heard from him.
But you know he didn't have any pulse.
I know he didn't have no pulse out there, but something happened. I don't know. I guess the good Lord was with him.
Well, after you left Southend, you came back to Guadalcanal.
After we left
Guam.
Guam, we came back to Guadalcanal. And the general of our outfit, he requested, they were about to, we didn't know it, but we were about to go on to Okinawa. And the general requested from Bureau of Medicine and Surgery in Washington, D.C., that all the corpsmen that had been in Guam remain until after the next operation. The Bureau of Medicine and Surgery says, no, they can't, because we have a time limit. They're supposed to be there, and if there's a ship available, they will have to return. So we were prepared to go on to wherever they were going. We didn't know, but my good friend, he was out training with the Marines, and I jumped in a little Jeep ambulance we had and run out there where he was, and he was bandaging a little cut on a Marine finger. I said, the ship is in. He dropped everything, his first aid kit and everything, jumped in the Jeep, and we were off. And we had an hour to get down to the ship, and it was probably 30 minutes away. So, but we did it. And, we might stretch that 1 hour a little bit.
But you were not in the Okinawa invasion.
No, I missed it by, I think a week later they left for Okinawa. Many of my friends were killed.
On Okinawa. Yeah, that was pretty rough. And you were probably going to end up in the invasion of Japan too.
Well, not at that time, because once I come back from Guadalcanal, I got the ship back, and I went into Jacksonville, reported into Jacksonville, Florida, and they sent me. I just couldn't believe it. They'd send me back to sea again, but they transferred me to California waiting orders from the Western Sea Frontier, which meant sea. And but they sent me to Hawaii this time with a communication outfit, and there we were preparing to go to Japan, invade Japan. It was a with the Navy.
You were out of the Marines.
Yeah, I was back with the Navy then.
So you didn't complain about that, did you?
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed with them, but they were so nice.
you did a lot, Byron, you don't ever realize it. It was, if it hadn't been for people like you, we wouldn't have made it. And you came home on emergency leave.
No. Oh, yeah, from Hawaii. And that was right after the war ended.
Oh, that was after the war ended.
Yeah. And my father had been in an automobile accident, and I came home. And back then, there was just no transportation from Hawaii home, other than by ship. And so finally caught a cruiser out of there. And you know the rumors. They say that they're going to make a speed run to San Francisco, but it didn't happen. But the time I got home, my father was much better. So after I reported back in from emergency leave, I got out of the Navy for a little while.
But you went back in?
Yes, I went back in. In August, I went back in and went back to Jacksonville. They shipped me to Charleston, South Carolina. They were still shipping people all around. And then from there, they shipped me to Bethesda, Maryland, the Naval Hospital there. And I stayed there roughly 3 years.
But you didn't go back in the Marines?
Yes, I was attached with them later. I'm sorry.
That's all right, tell me.
Let me get this straight. I did not wear a uniform after then, but they shipped me to Japan for shore duty there, and with the Marines, but I did not wear a Marine uniform. I was stationed hospital there, so that was and from there, I came back and I had to spend a year in the States before I could retire. I don't know, they made a ruling and that's what I had to do. So I stayed in the Navy a year out at Oakland, California, and then I retired from there.
And came back to recovery, Georgia?
Came back to, my folks live over on Highway 9. Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to say, Byron, about your services?
The only thing I can say, I truly enjoyed the service. My wife enjoyed it. We spent a little over 3 years in Japan, and we just loved it there. And
She was with you?
yeah, she was with me then in Japan, and we loved the Japanese people. They were wonderful, and I have no regrets for being in the service, and or the Marines, or I love being with the Marines.
That's good.
Yeah.
The Marines always, when I was in it, see, we called Doc on Coleman,
Yeah.
you were, but no,
Well, they treated us so good.
You all special.
Like,
You didn't want to lose your Coleman.
well, they proved it to me. The lieutenant of my outfit on Guam, I don't know whether I should do it.
Yeah. You got 10
Lieutenant, he had a runner, as you probably know,
I don't know, yeah.
and he assigned him to watch after me, plus his running. And that poor guy, I couldn't dig a foxhole even. He wanted me to rest or do something else. He did the foxhole, and in turn, one night I remember very well, and believe it or not, a runner carried a BAR, and that's a heavy thing. I wouldn't want to carry it out the door, but he carried this BAR, and one night he heard something out in the bushes there, and everyone had been warned to stay in the foxhole. He just leveled across there. Next morning we didn't find anyone, but I don't know what he was shooting at, but I heard something too, so.
The next morning, nothing was there.
No, maybe the Japanese come and got him. And I know he just leveled everything. That's about, yes, you had some more.
You got, no, I don't have any more. But, Byron, on behalf of the American people, well, thank you for what you did, my friend.
Well, thank you.
And we appreciate you coming back and being with us this afternoon.
Thank you for letting me tell you about it. I haven't told very few people.
Well, that's what Red said. He said